Good morning, Jiffy. Good morning, everybody. How are you today?
Good. How are you? Good
I
morning. Thank you for
I
having
am
me.
well. I see your Christmas tree behind you. It looks beautiful.
Thank you. After Christmas, I don't know where I'm gonna sit.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I do
exactly.
all
I
my
know.
videos here.
Yeah,
Like,
right. I'm saying. No, it looks beautiful. Are y'all ready for Christmas? You in the Christmas spirit? You and your children?
um, I tried to get in the spirit, but I haven't bought any gifts yet. I'm gonna go today.
Oh, I haven't either. Oh my gosh, I have not either. I mean, everything went by so quick. It was like Halloween, Thanksgiving, bam, Christmas.
Yeah,
It's just
I
like,
know.
whoa, calm
It's
down.
crazy. I'm like,
Yes,
wait,
it
Christmas
is.
is next weekend? That's
I
crazy.
know. I know. Seriously, I need to go. I need to go shopping too, and I'm gonna have to do that when I get home. First of all, I want to give a shout out to your manager for the flyer that he made for this interview. I am not technical and I cannot do creative things like that. So, guys, for anyone that was wondering, it was not me. It was all Jiffy's manager. So what's his name?
His name's Joe. I still didn't ask him how to pronounce his last name,
Oh,
but
okay.
I want to try it. I think it's Virgil.
Okay. So he's pretty creative because he did a great
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like, I
shot.
called him before and I was like, hey, can you tell me what app you use to make like those nice posters? And he's like, I'm not giving away my secret, so guess he'll be
Okay,
making everything.
that's fine. Tell him I might be inboxing him too. Long live Boxy said, good morning. Good morning. And Jesus,
Hey, good morning.
saludos. Good morning to you all. Um, the fights last night. Now
Yeah,
you made it. Man, it was a night of women's boxing. Tell me. So
yeah,
you said that you got there just in time to see Marlene. Is that right?
yeah, yeah. I went to see Marlene. Recently I've become like uh she's like my favorite person recently.
Okay.
We worked together during her camp and she was nice enough to give me tickets. So I was
Oh,
excited to see her fight and to catch Denisa too. That was pretty cool to watch.
absolutely. And you know what? I mean, I said this online, and it's nothing, taking nothing away from her because she's very talented. Obviously, she's accomplished so much. But last night, to me, was one of her best performances.
Yeah, she did
She,
really well.
oh my gosh, she was. So you were sparring her to prepare her for this? Is that correct?
For the last couple of weeks, maybe like 2 weeks. We started a
How
couple of times, maybe like
exciting.
4 or 5 times. Yeah,
How
yeah.
exciting. So Jesus says, who are you? So Jiffy Morales, she is a pro boxer. She also helped Marlene get ready for her fight last night that we all saw that was so freaking amazing. And so whenever y'all are sparring, like what goes through your mind? Like, are you, what are you
Nervous,
thinking?
scared.
Right.
Oh my gosh, she gonna knock me out.
She had some fast hands last night.
She is. She's really fast. She has pop on her punches. It's really nerve-wracking. When I first got in, my coaches they couldn't go with me,
Uh-huh.
so Joe went with me, my manager. And after the first round, I was like, "Am I fighting scared?" And he was like, "No, you're doing okay." And I really didn't know how it went because at that point they didn't invite me back, and I was like, "Oh man, maybe I didn't do that good." But then she
Right.
called me that night, and she was like, "You're so good." I was like, "What? Oh my
Oh,
god!" And
that is
and I
so
think
awesome.
I think recently, like I think we discovered that we're like soul friends. You know how
Right.
like I've been
Yes. You
friends
have
with
this
people
connection.
forever,
Yeah.
and I never had like a connection with somebody like I have with her. Like we talk on the phone every day. Like she's like I feel like we're childhood friends.
Right,
And I
right,
think she
right.
feels the same way too. Like it's crazy. We talk about it. And we're like, it's weird. This is weird.
But you know what? There are people like that. I mean, I have one female friend who she was with me here at the Vice. Do the same. It's like we've known each other forever, and you just click, and you have so many things in common. Oh, that's
Hmm.
beautiful. I love it. The
Yeah.
universe just does that when we need
Hmm.
it. It
Yeah.
really does.
I know
So
it's crazy because like I've been out here in Houston for like since 2010, and she's like, "How come we've never met before?" And I have no idea, like ever. Like I don't know why we never met,
so did
but
you
now,
did you drive straight home last night after the fights?
yeah, yeah.
How far is it?
It was 3 hours.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. Okay,
Well,
I'm in
I didn't
Dallas,
drive.
so
I was nodding I was like,
that's how I am, right? That's how exactly how I am when my husband's driving. Just,
I was like, oh, are we there
I'm not
yet?
asleep. I'm not asleep. I'm not asleep. Mary Jane Christine says, "I see you, boo. So proud of you." That's sweet. And Boxing
Oh, is
Republic,
that Mary? Hey, Mary Jane.
yeah, Mary Jane, Mary Jane. That's Mary Jane. And then so I have a question in the chat. Jesus says, "What is your record?"
Oh, I'm 1-0. So I just had one fight. I feel like I've had more. A couple of people are like, "Oh, I thought you were like 7. You had 7 or 8 fights." I just have one pro fight. I have been training for a couple. I've probably been in like 4 or 5 fight camps, and
Right.
the fights just never happened. But I'm one and
Yeah.
zero with a
That
knockout.
that's normal. That's normal
Yeah.
in boxing. Everything falls through. I've had some of my girls' fights fall through, and yeah, it's just like, okay, what's next?
I
So tell me
know.
about your gym. Tell me about your gym. Tell me about your coaches.
Oh, so I train at Main Boxing. Everybody like knows where that
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I didn't know the hype before I went. I just went. Um, and I train with Bobby Benton and Aaron Navarro.
My
So,
guys, my guys. Aaron is one of my favorite people in the world. Love by Bet.
oh
Aaron, love, 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 love him.
yeah, he's pretty cool. When I first went in, I was like, okay. I went up to him and I said, "You're gonna train me," and he said, "Oh, okay, that's good to know."
Yeah, exactly. But he's so cool like that. You know, he's so cool like
Yeah.
that. He really is.
So,
Um, Boxing Republic says, "Who got you into oh, what got you into boxing?"
I started back in, I want to say it was like 2010, 2009. And you know how like in college they make you take those prerequisite classes, and it was like a high interval class, and they had like little boxing pads, and every time I did it with somebody, they're like, "Oh, you should try boxing." So then I found like a recreation center in California, and I started boxing. But then I did like just the classes, and they're like, "You should join the competition team," and I'm like, "I don't think I should," but I did, and I never looked back. So
That is so
I
good.
had
But
done.
I mean, boxing, it does so much for so many people, in their lives. It's not just the physical part. I think it's the mental and emotional.
Mhm.
What has it done for you?
So I had 2 kids, so I took off boxing because I was an amateur boxer until recently.
Uh-huh.
And last year is when I walked into Maine in October, and that was after I had my second kid. And I just felt like I had everything that I wanted, everything that I needed. I have I have kids, a family, I have degrees, I have my own
Mhm.
business, like everything. And I
Wow.
just wasn't happy. And I'm like,
Right.
what am I missing? And the only thing that I could think of is that I'm not boxing. I have been boxing all of those years. So I thought, okay, well, I'm just gonna go back into it for a hobby. I didn't have
Uh-huh.
intentions on doing anything specific. Like I didn't know that I was gonna turn pro until I actually walked in the gym and I was like, oh yeah, I could do this. I'm gonna turn pro. Because before I never wanted to,
Right.
but I feel like it saved my life because last year I was diagnosed with major depression and an
Yeah.
adjustment disorder because I found out like a bunch of stuff about my family history, and I it just took a while for me to. I'm like, whoa, this is too much.
Yes, yes.
So boxing really helped me level out.
You know what it does, and myself, I'm a coach, and my husband's a coach, and we have those, and I had gone through some years of really bad depression as well, but I did find that going to the gym, that gym atmosphere, the family, the physical part of it, it really, really helps, and it gives you a purpose. Although yes, you have your kids, you have your family, you have your life, your job, and things of that matter, but it just gives you, I don't know, an emotional purpose. And I know you understand, and
Yeah.
and I'm so happy that you found that again. So Jesus said, what degree do you have? What's your
I
degree?
have degrees in psychology, and I'm working on my third to be a counselor.
Girl, that is so good. We need it in the boxing community. As you know, we so need that.
Yeah.
Um,
Everything I do is based around mental health. Even the business that I have, like everything is mental health. I don't know. I just kind of like fell into that.
You know, I liked you before. I like you so much more now. It's
Oh,
like, so I've been watching you, you know, on Instagram and your journey, and I love boxing, obviously, and I love support, but I especially love to support our women. So, you know, I've seen you do some great things, and I also saw you. I guess recently you were moderating or commentating at some fights,
oh yeah.
um, which is great. I mean, it's great to add that, you know, to the list of things that you're doing in boxing. Something that really caught my eye is and I hope I'm saying this right. It was Yvonne Brown. She had the crying girl movement.
Oh yeah.
Talk to me about that, because that really that really made me think about some things. But I want you to tell us who Yvonne Brown is or who she
Hmm.
was. I believe that she's passed. Is that correct?
Yeah, I actually just found out that she passed last week, and
I'm sorry
I
for
didn't
that.
know, and I felt so bad because so my former manager introduced me to her. They were really good friends, and she was an author, and she was always so nice, and she had two little girls that she left, but she wrote this book called Crying Girl, and then she made a movement out of it, and basically it was just about women always being told not to cry, or just like
We got to
suck
be
it up.
strong. Yeah, suck it
And
up. Yeah.
so I remember when she shared the movement with me, she was sharing like there's it was just pictures of a bunch of girls with signs that said like um why they would not cry and why it would make them feel better to cry. And so she put me a part of that movement. And for me, like I put that I was always conditioned not to cry, but I realized it made me stronger if I do. And I grew up like just sucking everything in, not crying, and now I'm a crybaby. And I don't care who knows it. I cry all the time.
So good. That's so good though, really, because it's so true. Because when I read that, and I think I made a comment too. I mean, we're conditioned. I know personally in my life, you know, we were not allowed to cry. I was the only girl. I had four brothers. We were not allowed to cry. And
Hmm.
growing up, in my young adulthood into my older, you're not allowed to cry, and you don't cry. You got to be tough. You know, I'm a mother. Everybody knows I have, you know, 11 kids, 10 kids, and one a stepson. But I had to be strong because there were many years that I was a single mother, and you have
Hmm.
everything on you, and you can't cry. Don't cry. Suck
Yeah.
it up. That's right. But you know what? I love the fact that yourself, women in boxing, and women coaches and stuff are getting in this mix, because we need that balance. You know,
Yeah.
love our men, but they're the ones that will say, "Suck it up, toughen up,
Hmm.
you got this, you can." But then we, as a community of women in boxing, have to come back and say, "You know what? It's okay. It's okay that you don't feel good. You need a hug. It's okay to cry. You know, it's okay you didn't do that well, but you know what, you're gonna do better." So there has to be a balance. So I mean, that just really touched me, you know, seeing your post, and I'm so sorry, you know, for your loss, because that's tough, especially when someone impacts your life so much and then they're
Yeah.
gone. It's really sad. And Jesus, we already said who trained her. Jesus, you have to pay attention. Bobby Benton and Aaron Navarro train
And
her.
both of them. People are
Both of
always like,
them.
"Who's the head trainer?" I'm like, "Both of them."
And that's good, right? I mean, that
Yeah.
it's good that they work together. There's no
Hmm.
egos, no anything. They are such a good team. You know, they're both
Yeah.
amazing. They really
Yeah, I
are.
put them equally in everything. I'm like,
Yeah.
nope, I got them in a group message. I run everything by both of them together. Like they both have my equal respect. And if they don't agree, then I'm like, okay, well somebody y'all
Y'all
gotta
work it
either
out.
have a talk or something. Because
Let me
this is
know.
what
Let me know. That's true. Let me know what y'all decide. Long Live Boxy says, I've heard Jiffy on the last El Tigre, next up promotions, and she's really good. Much respect. That's great.
thank you.
I've not heard you, but I'm gonna be listening for
I
you.
study really hard to commentate.
That's
Oh my
good.
God. I interviewed every single fighter. I looked up everything that I could find, and I was just throwing out facts as much as I could.
That is so good. I think that's great. And that's how you do it. You practice, you know.
Yeah.
Jesus says, how many days and hours does she train?
Jesus, I like your notes. I hope you write all this down.
Right. He's gonna write your book. He's gonna write a book, okay?
I train 6 days a week, and sometimes, well, most of the time, 2 days, 2 times a day, and then 2 days out the week, I train 3 times a day.
That's awesome. That's
It's
really
a lot
good.
of sparring 3 times a week, swimming, running, strength and conditioning 3 times a week. I just
Hmm.
like sometimes I'm like, I think I'm dying.
Yeah, it's like Sunday you probably just want to just like lay out and just not do
Yeah.
anything. And you have your kids, so that's tough. Boxing Republic says, talk about a woman crushing it in the ring and outside. So yeah, definitely you are. And I think that's fabulous that you do that.
Nice. Thank you.
But let me ask you, so what how old are your kids? What do they think about this?
They're 2 and 4,
Oh,
and
okay.
so the 4-year-old, I don't know if he really understands. He's just always like, "Mama, you gotta leave again," and I
Yeah.
hate it. I hate that because I'm like, man, I hope that they don't resent me for not being present all the time. Um, as
They
much
won't.
as like I leave, I'm like, okay, I try to leave and I train while they're in daycare and things like that. And then of course like I drop them off and pick them up every day from daycare. So I
Sure.
hope that's enough.
You know
But
what it is, and you know I've thought about things like that too when my kids were growing up. But the thing is this: they see you as a hard working woman that, regardless of having children and having to provide for them, you're still doing what you want to do. You're still living your dream. You're still being a great example, a hero to them. You know, and there's
mhm,
nothing better than to have a hero in their own house. You know, it should everybody should be that way. So no, you
yeah,
know what? They may grow up and say, "Mom, this, mom, that." Just remind them, everything I do is for you and for me, because I
yeah,
can't take care of you if I'm not good.
mhm,
You know, so you're
yeah.
killing it. You're
I also
absolutely killing
never
it.
like wanted to send the message that that like when you have, because some people are like, oh, you have kids, your life stops, and I'm like, no, it does not. Like those
Yeah,
kids gave me motivation to do a lot of the things that I do.
absolutely,
And I don't
absolutely.
want
You
to
know,
send the wrong message. Like you just have to stop when something gets hard.
no,
You
no,
know.
no, no. You absolutely, and I can honestly say in my own life, my kids saved my life. I mean, for me, they really did. You know, I don't know if I would have done the things that I've done, if it weren't for them. I really don't. So that
Yeah.
for me, they definitely helped me. Jesus has another question. He says, "What is your style like?" So, how do you best describe your style?
Um. So I don't know if I have like a style that I can compare to a person. But I know I'm very technically sound. I'm very much a boxer. I will fight if I need to. Um, I'm pretty much well rounded. I'm not sure what my style is like. We're gonna have to ask other people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, look, we can ask Long Live Boxing. Okay, so he says, Jiffy, I saw your fight was in Colombia. How was the experience? And can you put that feeling of the victory into words? So he saw your first fight. So we'll ask him your style. No, but how do you put that victory into words?
Um, First of all, after I won, I cried. I was like,
Good.
and my coaches didn't go with me, and it was that whole experience was scary. And I was like, man, Columbia is janky. I'm, but I'm just like, in general, I'm a very scary person. But I think that fear kind of drives me.
Yeah.
Um, I remember being at the face off, and I was just like shaking because I had never. You don't do that in amateurs. Like we don't. When I was doing amateur, we didn't do face offs. Like that's weird.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I
You're
remember
looking in your eyes.
the girl, she told the promoter, and the promoter ended up telling me that she said she was gonna kick my, can I say ass?
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
she said that she was gonna kick my ass because I looked scared, and I said I was scared. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I didn't know
Fear
where to
drives
look.
me. It
Yeah, so I
drives
looked in
me.
her eyes and then I couldn't look any longer. So I turned and I was like, yeah, I'm scared. But I remember just being scared the whole time. And maybe it turned off when I got in the ring. And I
Yeah.
just felt like she couldn't really handle I boxed, but she couldn't
Yeah.
really handle my power. And I was just like
Wow.
going to the body.
I
And
love it.
afterwards I remember it's I stopped her and the ref called it off and I jumped up and nobody I mean, it was like hundreds of people. It was
Yeah, yeah,
outside.
yeah.
It was so many people and nobody like clapped, said anything. And
Oh.
I remember thinking like, we gotta get the fuck up out of here. Like because they kept saying US versus
Taxi.
Colombia. And yeah, they kept saying US versus Colombia. And she was like, "Oh."
Uh,
And I was like, oh my God, like we gotta get up out of here. But
that's
I remember
crazy.
feeling right after people were telling me congratulations, but I was just like, what? That's nothing. Like,
Right,
oh, I
right,
want to
right.
go back now. So we went back
Exactly.
and I started training again.
That is so good. That is so good. That feeling of excitement. You like look around, like, is anybody
Like, let's go.
here for me? Is there any red, white, and blue? Caesar, thank you so much for tuning in. Great program. Always positive. We try. IOTBA, what's up? Long live boxes. That's so awesome. Yes, everyone hit that like button. Most definitely. So tell me what's next for you. Do you have a fight date or are you just waiting? What's going on?
Yeah, I feel like my life consists of waiting, but my patience has gotten better. But I do have a fight scheduled February 12th in Austin on the next Fight Up promotion card. So
Okay, that's
um,
fabulous.
yeah, that's all the details I have for now. Like, I don't know who I'm fighting or if they found an opponent. Obviously, that's been difficult. Um,
So tell everybody your weight class.
so I actually fight. So I fight at 108. Um,
You're
but
tiny. I think
yeah,
my
for the
leg
last
is
fight, I fought
108.
at 112. So flyweight, light flyweight.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I'm sure there's not that many little tiny girls that want to fight out there. So I'm sure it is hard, but
Yeah, and I think it's all about finding the right opponent too.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Jesus says, "Was she in Good Morning America?" This is Good Morning America. We're in America. Good morning. Good
I was on
morning.
Good Morning America.
Yes, you were.
I was, yeah.
Oh my gosh, talk
So
to
in
us.
2019, or no, in 20, was it 2019? It was a couple of years ago for my business.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's so awesome. So, what were they asking
yeah.
you? What were you telling them?
So I had for my business, it's called Smash Therapy, and I had a sponsored commercial a sponsored Super Bowl commercial by Head and Shoulders. They were looking for like headstrong business owners,
Oh my
and they
gosh.
saw I did like a TV segment on ABC, and the recruiter she reached out and she was like, "Hey, I think we want to do a Super Bowl commercial on your business," and after it aired, then Good Morning America was like, okay, well, come on our show and just talk about it. And that was pretty cool.
That is so huge.
Yeah,
Gosh,
yeah.
congratulations. Thank you,
Thank you.
IOTBA. So tell everybody, as far as your business, how can they find you? And what exactly would they expect in finding you? What is your business about? Because there might be people right now listening to say, "Oh my gosh, it's exactly what I've been looking for."
Oh, yeah. Thank you. So, Smash Therapy, it's basically a place where people go to break things either for fun or for therapeutic release. Um, they're categorized as rage rooms, but I don't subscribe to the rage. I feel like people
Right.
can do it for fun, or if you just want to try something new, get it off the bucket list. But a lot of people do visit for therapeutic reasons.
Okay.
About 80% of people are referred by either their psychiatrist or their counselor, or maybe somebody said like, "Hey, you need anger management." So they come over, they break things just to channel some emotion.
Yeah,
Um,
girl, I might be
so
calling you. That I love that. I love
thank
that.
you. Yeah, and there's a lot. They're popping up everywhere. I mean, I do franchises, but I don't have any. I actually more so mentor people into opening their own business.
Right,
So,
right.
so they're
I
all
think
over
that's
the U.S.
so
now.
good. I'm so proud of you. That's
Oh, thank
so,
you.
so great. A women-owned business. You're doing what you want to do. You're your own boss. I just absolutely love that. I really do.
Thank you.
So tell everybody where they can follow you on social media and keep up with your fighting, your fight schedule and everything else that you're doing.
Oh, thank you. So everywhere, I think on all the platforms, at Jiffy Morales. Just how you see my name there. Jiffy Morales. That's
Jiffy
me.
Morales. And IOTBA, she is from Houston. She came in last night, San Antonio, to see Marlene's fight. She had also been sparring her prior, so that's really exciting. Um, Long Boxing Republic says I'm an immediate fan. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's so nice. So I'm actually originally from, I was born in South Carolina, raised in Florida, and I moved to Houston in 2010.
Okay, so how are
Yeah.
you liking Texas?
I mean, I like it enough to have stayed. I felt like I was supposed to come on a business trip, like, okay, I'm gonna finish my degree and then I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna work for a year and then I'm gonna leave, but I never left.
Right, right, right. So obviously, yeah, you liked it. I mean, I've been in Texas my whole life, and yeah, it's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Long live boxing said that's a great business. Much respect. And
Thank
Clarissa
you.
said, Jiffy, I would love to have smash therapy with you. That's great. So where are they located? Are they in Houston or how does that work?
Yeah, so I just have one location and it's in Houston, like the Spring area. But if you Google Rage Rooms, more should pop up. I mean,
Okay.
they're not gonna be like mine because it's more like a therapeutic
Right,
aspect,
right,
but
right, right.
I'm sure you can still get the same relief if you go to others.
That's great. Well, you know what? I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to spend this morning with us. Okay, and she's okay. Are there any last shout outs that you want to do before we call it a morning?
Oh, no one's ever asked me that. I just want to thank God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me on. Thank you for being interested enough to speak with me and introduce me to a new fan base. I appreciate that. And I appreciate all of y'all in the comments and
Absolutely. We got
everybody
to do this
watching.
again. We got to do this again. And then Mary Jane said, "See you next week." Sly
All right,
says, "Great show, great interviews, ladies. You're the bomb." And then I have a show every Wednesdays. Wednesday, Women Crushing It Wednesdays. You got to come on sometime. Just a bunch of women talking boxing. We have fun. It's laid back. So hopefully you'll join us one Wednesday.
yeah, thank you. I will.
Thank you so much. And Long Live Boxing will be on 12 noon today on the
Oh,
HCP
cool.
network. Yeah, so we'll be sure to watch them too. Great interview. Thanks, guys. Everybody have a wonderful day and we'll talk soon. Thanks, Jiffy.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. Okay, bye.